Hey guys, welcome back. Yesterday we talked about economics and what economics is, and we went to the world's most famous economist, Mick Jagger, to see what he had to say on the subject. And he told us that you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you might just find you get what you need. And I think that's a lasting lesson as we start to take a look at scarcity. Now, I have to say, darkest lesson we're going to do with the healthcare stuff in econ, so bear with me. So let's play doctor. So today I'm going to hand out to you guys a sheet, and it's going to talk about kidney dialysis. And it's going to say that you have X amount of hours and you have all of these patients, and I need you to basically follow all directions and make a decision on who gets dialysis and who doesn't. Now, this is kind of like an extreme situation, an extreme simulation, all right? But I want you guys to take some time in class to do this, all right, and see the link on the lesson plan if you need that document. I want you guys to take some time, do this, and make sure that you guys are thinking about how you are making these decisions. These decisions are decisions about scarcity. So we're going to kind of see what scarcity is first through experimentation, and then we're going to circle back and do it in class. So this time I invite you to look at the activity, pause the video, complete it, and then come back with me. So after we had finished it, how did it feel to be a doctor? How did it feel? And that's the real important question here is like, what happened? How did you make these decisions? All right, what made it difficult for you? All right, how did you make these decisions? And what would you do if you have to make these decisions every day? I mean, right now, for you guys in high school, the decisions aren't as complicated as maybe saving someone else's life. But they can be pretty complicated, and they can seem overwhelming at times. All right, but we have a limited resource in the dialysis machine, and we had to make that decision. It's a perfect example of what scarcity is. All right, so take some time to think about these questions. Scarcity is the fundamental economic problem. I mean, it's the thing that drives economics. You know, if I gave you the definition of how we use our scarce resources to maximal benefit, right, it is our fundamental economic problem. It's the problem of having unlimited wants and limited resources to fulfill those wants. So when we talk about scarcity, it's something that you guys have dealt with every single day of your life. It's nothing new to you. I'm putting a term on it, and I'm building it into a context of a course, but it is nothing new to you guys. It is something that is simply there, something that you have lived through. And it's important to remember that as we start to look. So one thing that needs to happen is I want you guys to make sure that you have this down because it is going to be a question on your first quiz. I guarantee that scarcity is going to pop up there. All right, the fundamental economic problem of having unlimited wants and limited resources to fulfill those wants. So scarcity can be temporary, scarcity can be long-term, scarcity can send signals with price, and it can also be for non-priced items. So you talk about temporary, we could talk about the gas shortage in 1973, all right, when the United States and Iran weren't getting along and oil stopped being shipped to the United States and we couldn't produce enough ourselves, and we had a gas shortage where gas stations regularly ran out of gas. Right? It could be something long-term. We've been hearing about oil shortages for years now. We've been hearing about climate change. And we've been hearing about different things that we can look and see exactly what's going on with this and exactly see that you know, they're saying that we're going to have a scarce amount of ozone, scarce amount of air quality, scarce amount of oil, scarce amount of fresh water. We hear all of this, and it starts these conservation efforts, and we're not to the dire situation by any means in most of these, but we can do that. A lot of times price will send that signal. So like something like gold or silver, something that's a less common element might have a very high price compared to something that is a common element. And when I say element, I don't necessarily mean periodic elements, just, you know, these different materials like granite. Granite's more expensive than not granite rocks, you know. But when you look at something like gold or a diamond, those are pretty rare. They're pretty scarce. It's scarce to find a diamond just lying on the ground. That's why diamonds are worth such large amounts of money, right? And to find a pure, perfect-looking diamond can be worth even more. So sometimes price will send that signal. Now, things that we have a lot of, like air right now. You know, we have a lot of air, so we don't pay for air. There was a phase, though, where we did pay for air. I'm serious about that. the mall by where I grew up, had a air bar where you could go and pay $5 for 10 minutes of oxygen. It's kind of really weird, but they did do that. It's something that does happen, and it's something that you guys should be made aware of. Anyways, price can send that signal on what the value of something is because of how scarce it is. It can also be a non-priced item. My time doesn't really have a price. I mean, there's an hourly average of work I do, etc. But for the most part, my time is not priced. I don't have like a stopwatch keeping track of how much time I'm spending doing certain things. All right, so it's important that we take a look and see it and make sure that we understand exactly what's going on with this, and that we need to know, some non-priced items may be scarce. I'll go back to air. Maybe air is scarce. You live in Beijing, China. There might be a lot of air pollution, and you don't get the opportunity to breathe fresh air. So when you have a chance to get out of the city, you need to make sure that you get out of the city and breathe that fresh air. All right, and there's not a price on that. So it's important to realize that not all these scarce items will have prices on them. So now I want to do another think, pair, share with you guys today. And I want you guys to think silently about what are some items that are scarce to you. If you guys want to write them down, you're welcome to. Pair quietly with your nearby neighbor and then share out with them. And then as a class, we'll kind of take some ideas on things that are scarce around us. All right. With that, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later.